That's the goal. $1 billion. A $1 billion IPO valuation on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ.
Whoa, 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 hold up there. Listen. Can't make any guarantees. No promises. 1 billion. Could be 0. So be clear. When I come in, I'm gonna give you the bad news. This is a startup. As with any startup, you gotta put your big boy and your big girl pants on and realize there's risk involved. $1 billion, that's a nice goal. It's a dream, okay? You could plan for it, you could try, but it's not guaranteed.
Now, we're not there today. That's because today I'm excited to announce we are finally able to accept investments into my startup, househack, from all investors. And while there are some exclusions, which we'll talk about later, let me tell you about househack and the 3 promises that I can make. First, nobody will work harder than me at making sure that this company is a great success.
That's your opinion. We can't prove that as a fact. It's your opinion. Somebody else might work harder than you.
Second, I'm risking the financial stability of my entire family with househack. So I have to make sure this is a success, not just for them and my children, my wife and the rest of my family, but my investors, my employees.
Okay, look, just because you're really committed doesn't mean somebody else should be all in, okay? Everybody should evaluate the risks for themselves.
Number 3, as promised, we are maintaining the $1 equals $1 valuation for the supporters who watch me on YouTube and our course members. We're super excited to bring you a very unique offering. The $1 to $1 valuation means every $1 that's invested is the valuation of the company. $1 equals $1 of cash. That means if we raise $50 million, we are worth $50 million. There's no dilution for the idea, the brand, the people, the work ethic, or anything that we've built so far. You're investing at cash value, which we think is an incredibly unique opportunity, and we're doing it to give back to our community.
That's great, but be clear, every time a company has an offering, there are offering costs associated with that. Attorneys want their slice. So just because you raise $50 million and then all of a sudden you had $50 million of cash, there's gonna be a little sliver of that that's gonna go to the attorneys. You could calculate that all out. You should read the offering circular. You should understand. It doesn't mean the company will be left with $50 million if it raises $50 million. Probably be pretty close though, but again, read the offering circular to get the details.
We think it will set househack up for tremendous long-term success. Keep in mind though, there is a $75 million limit to what we can raise in this round. That means once we hit $75 million, the round will immediately close. This is not up to us. We can't change it. It is a legal requirement set by the SEC via Regulation A crowdfunding laws, a max of $75 million in a 1-year time span. Once we hit that number, the round automatically closes.
Yeah, that is true. That is the statutory limit. That is true. You could read about that on sec.gov and of course read the offering circular at househack.com.
Let's show you everything we can about househack. Behind me is a dumpster of one of our first purchases. We took a complete hoarding house that needed to close within 2 days, otherwise it would go to foreclosure. We helped the seller out and now we're going to stabilize the property and bring it to the rental market. This property has a model match sales comp for $620,000. We bought this for $475,000 and expect to have over $100,000 of wedge gains in the property. The wedge being the difference between how much we're into the deal for with fix-up and how much it's worth.
Look, you end up with a $100,000 wedge, and the market goes up 3% on 600. Now you got a $118,000 wedge. But my job is to be the bearer of balance here. What if it goes down 3%? Now your wedge is less than what you thought, maybe somewhere closer to 82,000. I mean, that still seems pretty good, but let's be clear, market fluctuations matter. So as an investor, the investor has to know that they are investing in a company that also has to evaluate timing, because timing could mean prices are going down and you need a bigger wedge to insulate yourself. Maybe you target $125,000 or $150,000 wedges. Or when timing's going up, maybe you're a little more aggressive and you target $90,000 wedges because you believe there'll be some appreciation. But again, it's on the investor to believe in the management and the executives of the company.
Now, how do we turn that into cash flow? Once we renovate the properties and then rent them out to qualified tenants, and we'll do in-house property management to lower our costs, we're going to introduce mini funds. Mini funds are how we expect to roll these properties to institutional investors, pension funds, or via exchange, freeing up cash flow. In other words, freeing up the cash wedge without flipping the property. We'll retain management and control of the properties, but via mini funds, we'll be able to generate massive cash flow.
With any investment, there's risk. Kevin here has done wedge deals over and over again. He's done construction over and over again. He's done property management over and over again. But mini funds, that's where you're getting into the startup aspect of this company. All the other stuff, building the foundations, that's been done over and over again. That's maybe not that difficult. I suppose it depends on the market, but whatever. Mini funds is something new. Nobody's done that before, at least that we're aware of. So be aware that that's a plan and that's a goal, but it's not a guarantee. And cash flow doesn't mean distributions to you as an investor either. It means operating cash flow, and a company can do whatever it wants with operating cash flow. It can reinvest that cash flow to hopefully grow the value of the company. It could distribute that as dividends. It could do share buybacks. The company could really do anything it wants, and there is no plan with what to do with that operating cash flow at this time, if it is generated. Remember, the company might not make any money.
This is why I think of househack as the vanguard of real estate. We are buying houses that are distressed, unlivable properties and turning them into mini funds that other folks can invest into. This generates substantial cash flow for househack. That househack cash flow can then be reinvested.
Hopefully, substantial cash flow. But that is not a guarantee. We want to make that very clear. Startups come with risks. All right, let's see what you got here. Buy distressed, unlivable properties, renovate, rent and manage, roll the properties to mini funds, reinvest the cash flow. Okay, it's your system. Got it.
So what would the math look like? Well, consider this. If we buy 500 properties, or a little more than one property per day per year, we might be looking at 500 times $100,000 wedges. That works out to about $50 million of cash flow that househack could generate at some point in the future as we scale the company. Now, obviously, some operating expenses will come out of that for our in-house property management, but our in-house property management might be able to generate revenue as well. And the math there is simple. $50 million cash flow, 20x multiplier, $1 billion. Those are our goals.
Exactly, it's a goal. Might not get the multiplier, might not get the cash flow, might not be able to do all the deals. A lot of things involved here.
In the last 3 weeks, we've found 7 of these wedge deals, and we're just getting started. This is property number 2, and as we build strong foundations with our entire househack team, we expect to be able to scale to multiple properties per day in wedge deals that we turn into mini funds. Let's take a look at all of the properties. Now we're at property number 3, and we just conducted our sewer inspection. One of the reasons we carry a sewer inspection kit, ladders, and all the equipment that we need for a home inspection is so that we can offer sellers quick closes. Quick closes and quick inspection timeframes get our offers accepted over other competing buyers. That provides more value for our investors, our employees, and our company. Almost all the way at the end of the driveway. Now remember, we always Matterport scan every property that we do, so we not only document the before condition and the after condition of the properties, but it makes coordinating the work so much easier. In fact, a lot of contractors will give us better prices because we send them the Matterport link, they bid off of that, and it saves them trips out and measuring. Now, the thing about investing in real estate is you have to know your market. So some properties are going to have a pool. Some properties are not going to have a pool. Depends on the value you get. And in this case, a lot. So practically, how do we actually operate househack? Well, remember, I started with nothing as an immigrant from Germany. My father built a business. I watched him build a business and watched as our family fell apart, parents divorced, and we lost everything that we built in the dot-com recession. Then, having to start at nothing, and when I was graduating high school, I became a licensed real estate agent. Since then, I've conducted hundreds of renovations, and finally, we are taking these hundreds of renovations of experience to scale, and we're doing it through househack. Invest in househack today at househack.com.
You're here tomorrow to ring the bell. Congratulations, man. You have done so much. 1.8 million YouTube viewers. People love you. People look up to you.
13 years ago, I stood over there looking at this very door, wondering what it would be like on the inside. Now, I have my name on the New York Stock Exchange badge, and I can go inside. I took my enthusiasm for the market and money and started learning everything I could about real estate.
I would be the most transparent governor that would exist, and you'd have my commentary every single day. I became a licensed financial advisor. Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Always great to have you on, Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.
It is time to introduce the company. Introducing HouseHack. Invest at scale with Meet Kevin. HouseHack is able to raise up to an additional $75 million via this qualified Regulation A crowdfunding offer. To be eligible to invest, you must self-certify that you are not investing more than 10% of your net worth or 10% of your single or joint annual income. You could read more about these conditions by searching Regulation A Requirements, SEC. You can invest in a retirement account by emailing us for instructions at ir@househack.com or by reading the FAQ at househack.com. No current stock-based compensation plans exist. Kevin Paffrath is not currently paid a salary, and his car, tools, and plane are provided by him at no cost and are expected to continue to be provided for as long as possible. All investment involves risk, and as with any investment, you may lose some or all of the principal you invest. Make sure to read the complete prospectus and summary of risks at househack.com or go directly to the sec.gov and search HouseHack. There can be no guarantee that HouseHack ever reaches a $1 billion valuation or ever IPOs. Additionally, no liquidity promises can be made. Kevin Paffrath's goals are not guarantees, and risks such as key man risk, market risk, interest rate risk, tenant risk, employee risk, and many other risks exist. There may also be conflicts of interest. Kevin Paffrath's YouTube business, financial education business, financial advisory services, ETF, real estate brokerage, or other future businesses may indirectly or directly benefit from HouseHack. All right, so now you're at the point where you have to make a decision. Do you invest or not? Well, take your time. Read the offering circular. Some people call it a prospectus. It's technically an offering circular, okay? Read the offering circular. It's important you read it. It includes things like risks, audited financials, and there will be more audited financials. It's something to know. This kind of company, when it goes through a fundraise like this, has its finances audited. There is a board of directors that reviews those finances, and the SEC requires semi-annual updates of these finances. So there will be more audited financials, which is good. The goal here, though, is to balance the hopes, the dreams, and the goal of the startup with reality. And that is, we have no idea what's going to happen. And that is why it is important when you invest what you feel comfortable investing. Something that we don't know if it is going to be stuck in this company for 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, or forever. Obviously, there are hopes, goals, and dreams. But we have to remember that you should not invest money that you would not be able to survive from if you no longer had. Remember, these are questions you should review with your financial advisor. If your financial advisor suggests you should invest $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever you want, it is ultimately up to you who makes the decision. Even if somebody else encourages you to invest more or less, you have to be comfortable with the investment. Don't be pressured. Take your time, review the material, and ask questions. Send questions to ir@househack.com. Just be patient. There are a lot of people sending emails every single day, which is good. That is the smart thing to do. Ask questions if you have questions. So hopefully this presents a balanced picture of what the company is trying to do and what you should do. And you have to ask yourself, by investing in a real estate company because maybe you don't think you have enough time or enough money or enough of the credit to be able to do it yourself. Is this the type of diversification you're looking for? If it is, maybe it's a great addition to your portfolio, but ultimately the decision is yours. Go to househack.com to learn more.